Greetings everybody, this is slicedlime and welcome back to the Predator Armor demo world. Here, my 1000 subscribers special got a ton of attention, as you probably know, and it's my new most popular video by a margin. The old one was the very first video I made about the chess game in vanilla Minecraft, but this one just shot through the roof. So that's pretty cool. I also went from 1000 subscribers, obviously, to more than 1300 subscribers, so my welcome to all of you guys and thank you very much. So what I figured we'd do today is to do a... whoops. Welcome to the back of my head. We're gonna roam around here and look at things in this world, and while we do that I am going to sort of answer frequently asked questions. Let's just get started. These questions are from the comment field of the previous video. They are from Reddit, from some other places as well. So, how did I get the idea for this thing? Well, it first sort of came into my mind from a video that Phoenix SC did about 4 months ago or something like that. If you've been following this channel for a while, you probably know about his channel as well. He does similar things that I do. And he did a video about camouflage in Minecraft. So if you were leather armor of a certain color and you were among blocks of that color, then you would be camouflaged and mobs would be unable to see you. So that was pretty neat, and I kind of quickly got the idea for doing an active camouflage in Minecraft as well. The problem is it's very difficult to do this, as you understand from the amount of command blocks involved. So I tried to make it way back then, failed, and then tried to make it again and failed again. Then I just put the whole project on ice for quite a while, and then I restarted it back up now. Now, does it work with all blocks? No, it does not work with all blocks. There are a bunch of blocks in the world in Minecraft that it does not work with. So the reason for that is, as I'm standing right here on this block, to be able to calculate the color value for my boots, I need to sample the block I'm standing on, this block next to me in that direction, this block in this direction, and this block in this direction, and this direction, and then a bunch of other blocks too. So I end up with like 9-10 blocks. For each of those block positions, I need to test all the various blocks that you might encounter and that you want to take into consideration for the color. So that means I started out with a list of most of the solid blocks, and that turned out to be about 200 blocks, and that didn't include the colored panes of glass or anything. And then I stripped away a bunch of those down to maybe 160 or so, just to get the amount of commands down. So it would certainly be possible to do this with all of the blocks as well. It would just be slower, more impact on your frame rate. There's an upper limit, like there's a maximum limit of how much stuff you can put in your spawn chunks and run it every frame before your game will just lag out. So those are the limits. There's a full list of all the blocks it works with. I choose to not include some things like sponge and some other blocks that aren't so common, and I chose to not include all the transparent blocks because, well, they are kind of different. There's also a separate list of blocks that you can be standing inside. So you could essentially be standing inside of this flower, and you would end up with a bit more yellowish glow. It's kind of hard to see now. But that also goes for all the carpet types and, well, reeds and all of that kind of stuff. A very similar question then is, does it work with resource packs? And while it does have a hard-coded color value for each block, so it's gonna, any resource pack that looks reasonably similar to the default textures in terms of what colors they have are gonna work decently. The more different your resource pack is from vanilla Minecraft, the more your armor is going to stand out from the surrounding environment. That also kind of answers the question of modded blocks. It will not handle any modded blocks, and it will not handle any future blocks that Mojang add into the game without actually, going in and changing the contraption over here. Interestingly, it does work with command blocks and redstone blocks. So if I go down into this, you can see my armor adapts, so I can hide among the command blocks here and among the redstone blocks. So, silly, but kinda neat. Now, while we're here, one quite frequently asked question was, why do I need so many command blocks? So why do you need so many commands to just do this like seemingly simple thing? And well, one of the reasons is you need 200 or 160 detection blocks for each of the 10 directions. So you have 2,000 detections just for the boots. And then a similar amount of detections just for legs and for chest and for helmet. So now you're up into like 8,000 commands just to detect the colors and add them up. But then there's this thing where Minecraft doesn't let you take a scoreboard and put that directly into the data for an item. So for instance, if I want to give myself a certain color of, let's say a helmet, a certain colored leather helmet, and I have the color value in a scoreboard, then there's no way for me to put that color value into the helmet's data tag, which means that you end up doing something like, let's take a look at some of these over here. But pretty much what you end up doing is going like, well, if the color value is 1, then I want the boots of color 1. And if the color value is 2, then I want the boots of color 2. And so on. So you have this color value here. This is leggings, obviously. So this color value here. And if we take a look at what the whole thing is, it's going to be a replace item entity. And then a target selector with the score of red, green and blue components. So in this case it's a red component of 20, it's a green component of 10, and a blue component of 0. Alright, next question. How long did this take you? That was probably the most commonly asked question actually, and probably less time than you think. Like I mentioned, I tried before a couple of times and I worked maybe 3 or 4 days on it way back then. And then I gave up, and now I've restarted the project a couple of weeks ago and made it work. And the difference is I've learned a whole bunch and I researched a whole bunch about performance, about redstone performance, and about command block performance, and I will be doing tutorials on that as we get to it. I'm still fairly busy with this LAN party this weekend, so it will be next week or something like that. Mainly it took these 2 weeks, and I didn't place all of this by hand. That's also commonly asked questions. It's like, how do you work with this many command blocks? And wow, you have to be dedicated if you're like placing these amount of command blocks. Well, no, I did not. So the reason this chunk is cut out like this region is cut out is because this was generated by a custom piece of software that I wrote to make this world. And then it's just been stuffed into this Minecraft world, which is the default generation Minecraft world. So this region, the 00 region, is actually custom built by the software. It's never been generated by Minecraft. The only thing I've done then is add the scoreboards in game and add a few command blocks to it afterwards. The process was I would work with the program to generate a test world, and then I would open that up in the test. If you'd seen the teaser version, the Prey, that I released a day or 2 before the 1000 subscriber special, then you've seen one of those test worlds. It was just a flat world with this added into it. And there are a bunch of requests around the map and around the tools that I made. Somebody asked if I could release the source code for the tool that I made as open source, and I don't know yet. It has a bunch of code in it that I've been using for a long time. I've written together with some friends of mine, and I would have to check with them to see if they're okay with me releasing it and so on. So, I don't know yet. We'll see. Can I make this into only one command? A bunch of people have joked about it who know how these things work, and I've gotten a few honest questions about it as well. It is 27 million characters of command code, and there is a limit to what you can put in one single command block of 32,000. There's also an overhead required for making something at one block, one command. So like there are 2 major factors. One is that you'd, like if you try to compact this into as few commands as possible, you'd still end up with thousands. And the other one is if you try to input that into Minecraft, it would just, it would have to process all of that, and it would lag out. Like it would never work to put all of this in to one command block like that. And the final thing that I'm going to answer today is, would it be possible to make a light version for people with less powerful computers, or would it be possible to make a multiplayer map out of this? And yeah, sure, there are many ways of reducing the command count. You could reduce the number of blocks it recognizes. You could reduce the range of blocks it looks at. You could especially reduce the resolution of the color space. I'm currently using 5 bits per color, and that means you have 32 possible values for red, green, and blue, but if you reduce that to 16 or even 8, then obviously you would save a bunch of command blocks. You can actually save a fair bit like that. And that is actually a project that I will be doing in the coming weeks. I will be trying to adapt this to a point where it's feasible to run it on a multiplayer server and use it in some form of map. And then we'll see what if there actually becomes a multiplayer playable like PvP map or something out of it, but it would be cool. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have any further questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.